So FHIR Endpoint Directories, I think, are certainly a step in the right direction in the sense that they give you one place to go to find out some information about whether or not a specific payer or provider actually has a FHIR endpoint. Now, of course, ideally you want a single directory for that, but multiple directories, okay. It's still easier than trying to find out by payer that you need to integrate with. The usefulness of that is not much more than that at the moment. I mean, ideally, what you would want is to have some kind of standard way in which, through an endpoint directory, you could actually request the authentication tokens and access that you need in order to directly access that FHIR resource from that particular payer or provider that's listed in the directory. So at the moment, that's not really possible. There isn't a standard way or a standard mechanism for doing that. So, for example, you need to think about whether or not someone who's requesting or accessing that information actually is a good player or a bad player, right? It could be just somebody trying to steal PHI data and trying to find an easy way to get access. So the endpoint directories don't really want to have that responsibility, I think, at the moment. Certainly not until there's a standard way that someone can actually enforce some kind of code of conduct, like the carrying code of conduct, or a service like ID.me, which actually validates a person is who they say they are. That would be what the endpoint directories would need to do in order to act as a real proxy or authority for giving access to payer or provider FHIR servers through their single directory. I don't see that happening in the short term. Without the authentication mechanism being standardized and used by everybody, it's not going to happen, but at least you have the benefit of knowing whether or not a given payer or provider actually supports any of the FHIR endpoints in some form of public way.